Hello everyone, this is Maki. Are you enjoying episode 7 of GQuuuuuuX? There were some surprising developments, including elements reminiscent of the original Universal Century and major shifts in the story. Today, let's take a closer look at the mobile suits. What technological advancements are taking place in the world of GQuuuuuuX? Before we begin, I have a quick announcement. I'm currently accepting support through channel memberships. For just 99 cents a month, you can get a name badge and comment stamps. Now, let's start the analysis. First, let's talk about the Gyan. Ixabi piloted it to rescue Kisilia Zabi from a dire situation. It's a mobile suit that also appeared in First Gundam. Developed by the Principality of Xion, the Gyan was ultimately not adopted as the mainline unit due to performance comparison tests with the Galwood. Nevertheless, the Gyan had excellent capabilities, and its technology was later used to develop the Galwoody. In a battle against Ammo Race Gundam, the Gyan was piloted by the commander Maki, unlike an ace pilot. By that point in the story, Ammo had awakened as a new type, surpassing the capabilities of normal pilots. Nevertheless, Makube's Gyan managed to put up a decent fight and corner Ammo to some extent. This battle is often cited as evidence that the Gyan is an exceptionally capable machine in close-quarters combat between mobile suits. During the Zeta Gundam era, the Federation forces used an improved version called the Galwoody Beta. Later, in the Gundam Double Zeta era, two high-performance mobile suits named Gazo and Gazelle were introduced. While they don't have a direct technical link to the Galwoody Beta, a spin-off called Advance of Zeta reboot suggests that engineers at Anaheim Electronics, who were sympathetic to Neo Zeon, may have passed along data. The Gazo and Gazelle were primarily deployed for important person protection. Nicknamed the Royal Guard, their gold accents and large spears evoke the image of noble knights. Did you catch it? The Gyan in GQuuuuuuX has golden decorations and is equipped with a large spear. It served as a bodyguard for the important figure Kisilia. Although it is named Gyan, its role closely mirrors that of Gazo and Gazelle. The large spear it wields is called Hakuji. During the planning stages of the original First Gundam, the Gyan was actually called Hakuji. This name comes from the traditional porcelain ware beloved by Maki. This real-world item is known for its white color. In English, it is commonly referred to as white porcelain. In Japanese, it's called Hakuji. Carrying on the fascinating traditions of the Gundam series, the Gyan has returned in modern times. What kind of future lies ahead for it? Next, let's take a look at the Psycho Gundam. Yesterday, I mentioned that the Psycho Gundam in the world of GQuuuuuuX is similar to the Psycho Gundam Mark II. In fact, it may be an entirely different, more advanced weapon. By episode 6, we are introduced to a suit called the Psycho Suit. It is the pilot suit worn by Dumura-sama. Interestingly, the term Psycho Suit also appears in Gundam Narrative. Gundam Narrative is set in the original Universal Century. However, it was not written by Mr. Yoshiyuki Tomino, but rather by Mr. Haruto Shifukui. It's unclear if the Psycho Suit in GQuuuuuuX was inspired by Gundam Narrative. Since Psycho is a fairly common term in the Gundam series, it may just be a coincidence. The Psycho Suit might be an incredibly advanced piece of technology. It appears to allow for an organic fusion between the human body and the mobile suit. In other words, it connects the pilot's senses directly to the mobile suit. If fully functional, it would eliminate the need for physical controls, such as joysticks and switches, in combat. But it seems like there are some serious drawbacks. Take a look at the scene where the Psycho Gundam's arm is damaged by Sharia Bull's attack. We see Du clutching her arm in pain. A similar phenomenon occurs in Gundam Unicorn. Now, let's focus on the final battle. When the Unicorn Gundam's leg is restrained by the new Zeon, the pilot Banerjee screams in agony. A mobile suit linked to the human body through the Psycho system transmits damage to the pilot's senses. The same thing happens with the Psycho Gundam, which is piloted by Du. However, the Psycho system and Psycho suit developed by the Earth Federation seem to be technologically inferior to those developed by Zeon. Now, let's revisit the scene in which Machi pilots the GQuuuuuuX for the first time. When she sees the Zaku's machine gun, she panics and instinctively tries to shield herself with her arms. At that moment, the GQuuuuuuX raises its shield to block the machine gun fire. It reads her emotions and interprets her intent to protect herself in an optimal way for the situation and the mobile suit's equipment. Had GQuuuuuuX simply followed her thoughts literally, it would have raised its arms to cover its body, just like Machu. The Zeon Psycho system optimizes a pilot's thoughts and executes them based on the current circumstances and equipment. Furthermore, Machu wasn't wearing a special suit, such as a Psycho suit. This scene reflects an incredibly high level of technological sophistication. Of course, it's also possible that Machu's new type abilities are extraordinarily strong. She's the main character, so that theory is plausible too. What about the Psycho Gundam? It reacts to Du's emotions by clutching its head in distress, for example. Such actions are meaningless on the battlefield. In fact, they are dangerous because they reveal the pilot's mental state to the enemy. This was a scene that showed the difference in technological levels between the Earth Federation and Zeon forces. Some fans have asked if the technology is that advanced, why can't they filter out the pain signals? That's a reasonable question. In this case, however, I think the priority was to create an emotional effect by making the mobile suit appear to share the character's feelings through its movements. Another notable feature of the Psycho Gundam is its glowing internal frame. According to official media photos, the Psycho Gundam's internal frame is usually black. However, in episode 7, it glows yellow. This is reminiscent of the Psycho frame seen in the original Universal Century timeline. In Shah's counterattack, we also saw the Psycho frame emit light. It was this glowing effect that inspired the design of the Unicorn Gundam. Could the Psycho Gundam be equipped with technology similar to the Psycho frame? The reason the Psycho frame glows is still unknown. Glowing on the battlefield obviously increases the risk of being spotted by the enemy. However, the benefits of the Psycho frame outweigh that drawback. It improves the efficiency of Psycho weapons and can grant physical properties that defy conventional understanding. For example, Ammo Ray used the new Gundam Psycho frame to alter the trajectory of the asteroid axis. This is one of the defining features of the Psycho frame. It is so valuable that its glowing drawback is overlooked in favor of its effectiveness. The Psycho Gundam's weaponry is also used while its frame is glowing. There's a scene where it uses an attack similar to the reflector bits from the Psycho Gundam Mark II. These weapons fire beams from cannons on the body and then refract them using devices that alter their trajectory, making the shot path unpredictable for the enemy. Could this powerful weapon also be made possible by a Psycho frame-like system? In contrast to the Federation's underdeveloped Psycho new technology, the Psycho frame appears to be extremely advanced. The contrast between old and new technology is utterly fascinating. The more we learn about the Psycho Gundam's advanced specifications, the more we appreciate Shoya Bull's skill as an ace pilot. One of the most striking moments in episode 7 was when Machu and Nyaan went their separate ways. When Kycilia offered to protect Nyaan's family or friends, Nyaan simply replied, "I don't have anyone." This was in stark contrast to the scene in episode 6, when Nyaan said, "I wish I could have had a meal with Machu and Shuji." Meanwhile, Machu has no idea why Nyaan and Shuji disappeared. It's possible that she believes they used her as bait to escape. It's possible that Machu and Nyaan will fight each other someday. Machu will likely pilot the GQuuuuuuX. What kind of mobile suit will Nyaan appear in? Perhaps Nyaan will pilot a mobile armor instead. While we don't know if this will be reflected in the anime, the early concept plans for GQuuuuuuX state that Jiren Zobi, the Supreme Commander of Zeon, intended to rely primarily on mobile armors for military operations, and that the mass production of the Big Sam was carried out based on that idea. Let's look forward to what's next in GQuuuuuuX. Thanks for watching until the end. See you in the next episode.